I can't make y'all clap. Y'all so, everybody, black people are so serious that you don't know when to clap. You don't know when to smile. You don't know when to cheer people on because jealousy is ruining our community. Y'all do understand that, right? I'm going to be honest. Y'all said, man, he going to talk to me about financial service. Yes, I am, but I got to tell you guys the truth. Y'all, Pastor said, man, with next month, August, he walks over. I don't know. You better leave sports alone, bro. All right? Because I don't even play sports. I lift weights, but I'm not getting out there with my 17-year-old and my 12-year-old doing nothing, right? But when he said that, and then the message where Brother Kearney started with putting on the armor, and then he talking about the famine and all. I haven't even talked to your pastor about what I'm going to talk about. And I said last week wasn't meant for me to come. It was meant for my son to go to that camp to be here tonight. So anything I put on here, y'all know that's an article. I want y'all to see that article. It said road to zero what? I told you I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I got this vision from God. Say, hey, man, our people are leaving here. You better do something because I gave you some information that can kind of offset what's going on in the community. Because 50 and 60-year-old cannot have another 20 to 30-year-old that's out here gun violence killing each other. And they leaving grandchildren. That's the message. They leaving grandchildren for the grandparents to raise them. You don't have to talk about it because I told you I ain't come here to please you. I'm coming as a messenger. And then when it comes to the realms of finance, you said, what that got to do with finances? Because you need money to raise those children. Y'all missed that one. Just like y'all missed it, y'all go get y'all church paid off. You missed it. I ain't here to try to make sure you get it, right? But it said a road to zero wealth. If we don't get this right, this was an article that came out, but it'll go over your head. You can Google. It's an unbelievable article because guess who the study is about? People of color. Y'all laughing at it? Y'all ain't excited. It said road to zero wealth. What is that road? We don't save any money. We don't buy insurance. We're not teaching our kids how to best go about getting scholarships or planning for their future. This ain't got nothing to do with me. This 20 years up here. I'm telling you what I see. I don't have to make this up. I don't even have to go to no Google. This is 20 years, so you guys are not going to get no paper cap type dude up here talking to you. You're going to get real stuff. Either you receive it or not. It ain't none of my business. God said just what? Share it. You said, what do you mean by road to zero wealth? Let's look at it. Going too fast, right? Y'all can read. Pastor had y'all reading, right? It said, if the racial wealth divide is left unaddressed, medium, come on. But it's going to be faster than that. They don't come up with these projections just because it sounds good to put in an article. They study us like they study polar bears. Y'all do understand that, right? They spend more money on people of color and polar bears. You say, what a polar bear got to do with it? If you shave a polar bear fur off, he's black underneath. Did y'all know that? So that study going into the polar bear and people of who? Color. You said that can't be true. Let's get to it. You may not be able to see this article right here if you can see it, but it's just showing white, overall, Latinos and black. See, nobody want to use that language, but when I'm around my Latino brothers, they say, I'm going to go help my people. But then when we say that, we were like, oh, I want to do it. I want to help everybody. But when I sit in the living room with them, they say, I want to go help my. Y'all get mad at me. I'm just telling this is life. But we'll say, I want to help everybody because you said, God, I don't want to exclude nobody. But when I talk to them, they don't do that. They automatically exclude everybody. They say, look, I'm going to go help my. They understand these numbers. Some people income go up, but ours are going. By 2043, our income, we already $2,000 all the way to $425. You said that can't be so. It said 2053. What's going to happen to the other 10 years? So the things I share with you tonight, either you get it right or don't. I'm just going to tell you it's real. You don't have to listen, but you better start moving. Here we go. You say, what did he just say? You know when your grandparents say, what did you say? Come here. What did you say? See, that's the response you should have because this article is about us. You should say, what did you say? You can Google that. It's some brothers that put this together to shed a light on what's really going on. Y'all understand this okay? Good. Okay, watch this. I did not talk to your pastor. Listen, this is one of my scriptures. That's why I said tonight is here. What do that scripture say, guys? I did not talk to your pastor. What did he talk to you about? See, we don't go to God because black folk know too much. You got all the answers. If I say, man, I got a water leak, I know how to fix that. Man, you need to go get, he just said your roof, your house leaking, I can go fix that. Man, you need to get a new car. Oh, man, I'm okay. I can go fix that. We know everything. This is serious. We too smart. When somebody trying to help you, I already know that. Y'all follow this, right? We know everything. He said we're going to pay the church off. People still, because you know everything. Like this is happening every day because you know everything. That's why we can't get help. That's why you can't get any clarity because it simply said go to who? For what? He talked about that. I didn't talk to your pastor about this. So I know we connected based on what woke me up in Atlanta, Georgia, the call. Y'all ain't getting it. You wonder why you struggling. You got it. Who it say go to? You know you don't know anything about finances getting it right. You need to go to who? Why you think I'm here? Somebody went to who? Boom, y'all got to get it. Y'all got to get it. Okay? I always start with that because I really believe this is a time like none other that we can get it right. Okay? We can get it right. Okay? It ain't doom and gloom. That's why I say I got to get out here and share with people because we got to prove these numbers wrong. So that was God say, go hit the road. You got to get out here and do it. But your pastor called me probably 2 or 3 months prior and said, hey, man, you still doing them church seminars and stuff like that? I said, not right now because of what? I did tell you that, right? It wasn't the right time. It had to be in the right alignment because you hear what he's saying, paying that 10% and then doing that extra. He said he got that win. Did you get that? You see what I'm saying? See how this go? It wasn't the right time for me to come in. Boy, y'all think stuff is just magical. Boy, here we go. Can I get into what I'm going to get into? Okay, here it is. I'm an old football player. I get bored when you get bored. I go to sleep if you go to sleep. If you don't ask questions, I won't give you no what? All right? So as I go through this, I want you guys, I do stories, I tell stories because it keeps people engaged and involved. But at the same time, it's going to be information that you can use on it every day. Y'all cool with that? So let's talk about what? Pastor said we need some daggone what? Let's get it. I want y'all to take a look at that. It said bypass the middleman, become an owner, not a what? You can say lender, loaner, it doesn't matter, right? This is how the traditional side of finance work. We get paid and we take our money where? It used to be a time where we can walk in the bank. Now you don't even go in the bank. Everything direct deposit. So the bank don't need to see you. They just need to see your what? Okay? And the bank take our money and they take it to the globe economy. What is the globe economy? How many people shop at Walmart? How many people go every year to see a mouse down in Orlando? How many people order stuff online at Amazon? Guess what the globe economy is? You'll get Walmart all that money, but you won't give yourself any. All right, here we go. But we take our money to bank, credit union, insurance company, historically low rates of return because people think you can put some in and get what? Some out. You can't get anything. In America, this is what I learned. There's nothing free. Not when it comes to money. There's always a backdrop to it, right? People say, man, I'm getting free. I can get a free loan. Or no, you can't. No, it may sound that way because whoever created makeup did an unbelievable job. So they dress everything up with makeup and it looked good. But when you go home and take the makeup off, you are who you are. So whoever created makeup should have a monument in every city. And ladies should go up there and just say, hey, thank you. My son told me this, and I told you I tell stories and I'm a joker, right? We was sitting at the dinner table, and he looked across and looked at Mama. He said, y'all got it made. He said, y'all can change the way y'all look. Said, we can't do none of it. If we ugly, we going to stay ugly, right? So he said, we can't wear all this stuff y'all wear. And we just started laughing. I said, man, listen to this young dude, right? But here we go. Our goal is to teach people how to bypass the middleman. Learn how to take your money to the economy. And I'm going to make sure I do a great job at sharing that with you guys. Because a lot of people think this is out of reach. It's just information, but applied information. You're not going to get rich overnight the right way. If you do, you're going to lose it because you don't have the foundation to hold it. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. I see it all the time. I seen a lady go through $4 million less than 2 years. 2 years. And I told her she would if she don't get no sound understanding. I said, you're going to go through this money. She started living out her dreams and her desires. And now she right back where she started less than 2 years. Tell me she wanted to own a restaurant, but never ran a restaurant. It's about management, not the food. There you go. Okay. Here we go. Watch this. How we teach people how money works is something we call the rule of 72. This rule been around 300 years, and it may be your first time hearing it or second time or third time, but it will never change because it's been around that long. Okay? It said if you divide your interest rate into 72, it will tell you the approximate number of years it take your money to double. Okay? Simple concept, right? And it's a banker's rule. And I'm going to show you guys something. Okay? If you look at it, at the top, it got percentages. Across the top, you understand that? Across the top, 3, 6, and 12. And down the side, 0 to 48. Is there anybody in here over the age 48? Yeah. Over. And there are some people under age 48 in here, right? Show a hand. Act like you was a newborn. Think about your babies right now. Let's say you had $10,000 and you go put it at a 3% return, and you say, I'm going to put it in a saving account at the bank. In order for that money to double, 3 divided into 72, that money going to take 24 years to double. By the time your child turns 20, 24, how much they have? 20 what? In order to get 40,000, how old would they be? Could you retire with that money as an adult right now? But guess what? We take our money. Then you see that 6% return, same $10,000 across the board. 6 divided into 72, your money double every 12 years. Same money. But now your money 12 years sooner is $20,000 in 12 years, right? And every 12 years all the way down to the same 48 years, that's 100 and what? Can you retire off that money? But it's better than 40, right or right? But here, let me hit you where it's hurt, right? Then you see the 12% return. 12 divided into 72, your money double every 6 years. So in 6 years, how much you have now? 20,000, right? Everybody going to say, that's the one I want. I want that one. And then I say, in order to get it, you're going to have to invest your money. Then black people turn their back on me. Because I'm going to tell you what they say to me. I don't have any money. I'm afraid to lose my money. And I need my money when? So don't talk to me about investing. And the bank said we won't. So we'll use your money to make us money. So every 6 years, all the way down to the same 48 years, how much the bank walk away with? 2.5 million of whose money? Because what you say, I need my money when? That's why you don't get the education on how money works. Because everybody wants their money now. The microwave way. Money get old, and money take care of people a long time if you do right by it. See, a lot of people talk negative about money. Oh, that's all they're about. You're so wired differently that you hate people have nice houses. You will talk about it. Knowing you want a new house, you say, I wonder how they got that. They crook. You're killing your own blessing. I wonder how they got that new car. Oh, I bet they scam and scheme somebody, and then you asking God for a new car. Wow. Knowing you like that car. You right? Come on, guys. Don't play with me. I told you I'm coming as a messenger. I don't need your money. Yeah. God have done well for me these last 20 years because I applied principle. It ain't got nothing to do with me treating you right. Yeah. It got everything me doing right. Yeah. Okay? Here's the deal. How do you win a game if you don't know the rules? I played professional football, college, and high school. They gave a playbook. If you didn't understand that playbook, you wasn't going to get on the field because we couldn't trust you. So how can God trust you with money? You don't know the rules. I don't need y'all don't have to clap. I'm going to be okay when I get out of here. I'm going to be okay. Who would benefit from learning this rule? Shouldn't they taught us this in school? But what benefit would it be for them to teach you this in school to think outside the box? How many college students here? Have you ever took a business class? And they tell you how to run a business and they're your professors? You learn business from business people. Well, the professor part, right? You learn business from business people. Not from school. The best education is taught outside of the school. Pastor just said, y'all run from people that got information because I told you black people know everything. I've been doing it 20 years. I should have been a millionaire 4 times over. But my people run from me because they say, you look like me. You don't know what you're talking about. Wow. God's still blessing me anyway. Yeah. I say that to my team all the time. I'm like, man, we millionaire 10 times over if our people just act right. Yeah. We always don't want nobody to come up. I call a spade a spade. Yeah. When I leave here, y'all say, well, he ain't coming back. Well, Pastor, now I'm leaving a whole lot of people exposed because you know better. Yeah. But you know everything, so you won't receive anything. You won't go to God to ask for it because you already have the answers. So when Pastor up here stomping and talking about we paid the church off, yeah, you're going to stay glued to the seat because it don't bother. It ain't your life. You don't pay no bills here. You like, it ain't mine, right? This wasn't going to be a part of my speech, but I'm a real person. I absorb stuff. If I pull up in a Lexus instead of you like, you should be saying, man, how you get that? I've been praying to God for something like this. So I'm going to follow you, man. Talk to me, but our people won't do that because we know everything. Here we go. I'm going to stay on point, Pastor. You got me up here preaching. You and Brother Kern up here doing this stuff. He got a sword in his hand and saying put on a shield and stuff. And you guys, it take a lot of effort to do something like that to relay a message to God's people. It's almost like a parable. If he had just came in raw form, you probably like, oh, he just talking. But then he put on there, you start laughing. That's how Jesus gave his message through parable, because he said, if I say it the way I want to say it, you won't get it. You won't understand it. And he got a sword. He got a mask and a vest. I was like, man, this is amazing. But then I say it took a lot of thought behind that. just to reach God people for 15 minutes. Boy, y'all, let me get on. Here we go. Well, who going to teach our families about the rule of 72? The bank or the school? Your blessing come from another man outside. God gonna send you. All right. Your blessing gonna come through a man. It could be a woman. Y'all want to make it in that? Yeah. Well, here we go. Okay. You say, what is the power of money? You showed me the rule of 72, 10,000. I may not have that, but you done came across $200. It take $200 a week just to put in your tank, depending on what you're driving. Pastor just said 10% go to God and the other 5, your 5 may be different. You trying to put a cap on it. When God bless you, that number is 5% is a lot of a lot. Y'all thinking 5%, $20. Some of y'all start. What if he gave you $1 million? What if he gave you $5,000 that month? You understand how to do that? All right. $200 a month saving for 37 years. And this is starting at 0. You can start at 25. You can start at 55. That don't matter. It's never too late. If you had a 3% return over a period of time, that's $162,000 just putting how much away? That ain't no bad money, right? I know people in their 60s can't put their hand on that kind of money. So that's some good chunk of change, right? Y'all got to check your head. Yes. Don't sit up and think that's some bread, okay? But it get better. Same $200 at a 6% return is $327,000. Same money, same time period. At a 9%, because we're gonna go with a 9%. How much did that $200 grow to? Did the number of years change? Did the $200 change? It's where you put your money that make the difference. Y'all do know that, right? This ain't the mattress. This ain't the jar. This ain't that theory. Mom and dad, them may got away with it, but it didn't help us well. You can't hide money in the wall, Paw, right? Thinking somebody going to steal your money because you don't trust the bank. At least they had that part right. But they didn't know what to do with the other side of it. They didn't trust the bank, and there's a good reason. Watch this. Here's another investment people make. It's a big one. One of the biggest investments people make is in income protection. Didn't I say these 20 and 30 years old are dying and mom in their 50 and 60 can't have another one, but they leaving grandchildren? Here it is in our community. We don't do this part right at all because you thinking somebody out to get you and you speaking depth on me, and God said just prepare and plan because this day shall come. Everybody going to cross those sands. I don't care who you are. Stop acting like this is not important. You're not hurting anybody by avoiding information. People are leaving here. They always been leaving. You think you don't need the money, you need the love, and then you find yourself out, the love gone, all the money gone, you lose everything. You need the money. Here we go, let's talk about it. I believe in educating, right? We're going to talk about one of the big investments people make is in income protection. Why this is a big investment? You don't get a do-over in this department. Once it's done, you're not going to come back. The only person I know came back. My grandmother didn't come back. Granddaddy didn't come back to get it right. It was done. It was final, right? You don't get this one right, your family stand to lose everything you ever fought for, everything you ever wanted. Here it is. Cash value life insurance. I believe in educating because I don't make this stuff up. This stuff been around 300 years. You get mad at me all you want. I got it from somebody else that knew something. They didn't teach me this in school. Don't think this is a Tyrone thing. I'm just explaining it to you guys. If I can't explain it, it ain't worth gaining it. Y'all understand? Whatever I teach you, you can use. It's coming. If I say this is how it is, not because I made this up, they taught me how to explain it to get people to gain it. That makes sense. If people can't explain what they doing, it ain't worth gaining it. Y'all understand that, right? Okay, here it is. Cash value life insurance go by a lot of different names, whole life, universal life, anything that got a saving plan, you can borrow money. Now they got this stuff called infinite banking. They got all this IUL. Black folk love makeup. They put makeup on this stuff. It's still the same thing. Once they take the makeup off, I still got bags under my eyes. It's makeup. Anybody can make somebody look good. That's why I say it's makeup. It's still the same stuff. Ooh, I'm going to keep it on point. There we go. Let's take a deeper look at it. It's by term investigative. Everybody think I made this up. I got good news. I'm not old enough for that. All right? Cash value. You got a family. You got John and Mary. They got children. John got $50,000 on him. I told you I'm going to tell a story. $25,000 on the wife, $5,000 on each one of the children, $80,000 total cover. They spending $298 a month. Emergency come up. Do they come up sometime? Yes, sir. Y'all ain't never had no emergency, but they come up though, right? Yes. John and Mary got a $25,000 emergency because they were told they can borrow from the insurance policy. So Mary said, John, didn't that man say we can borrow from our policy? John said, yes. And they go down and take that $25,000 off their insurance. On the way home, Mary said, didn't that man say we got to pay this money back? Yes, here it is, black folk. John said, I ain't paying anything back, Mary, because whose money is this? So don't talk to me about paying what? Is that not our conversation? 10 years go by, John passed away unexpectedly. Mary go plan for the funeral and do all that wonderful stuff. Insurance company cut her a check for $15,000. Mary said, where's my what? Insurance company said, I'm glad you asked. You remember that $25,000 that you and John borrowed? It turned into a loan, and we charge you interest on this loan. So we got all our money up front. She's in a dilemma, guys, because she haven't buried John yet. And she still got small children that she have to continue to raise. See, people don't realize that thousands on top of thousands of people is faced with this as we speak, because the only time people talk about life insurance is when? Is that too late? And then you have term insurance. It's sold in blocks from 10 years to 35 years. It does not have a saving plan or a borrowing plan. It has one benefit and one benefit only. Y'all want to know what that is, right? Whosoever and whomever is the beneficiary that left behind will have some money to live off. Yeah, you better clap because this is real. Let's look on the hood. $300,000 a piece on John and Mary, right? $25,000 on each one of the children because children do die, right? Let's talk real. Don't be so scary, right? But instead of spending $298, they spend $123 a month, which freed up $175 what? Dollars. John and Mary got educated on how to invest their money, so they took that $175 instead of spending it. They invested that saving at a 10% return over 35 years. That money grew to $669,000. The emergency still came up. They still need what? Money. They know they can't borrow from their insurance, but they're smart enough to know and got the right education, right information. They just took money from their retirement. 10 years go by, John passed away unexpectedly. Mary goes playing for the funeral and do all that wonderful stuff because she knows she's going to get how much? $300,000. But she's smart enough to know through the education she's going to get the remaining balance that they were saving for their retirement. So looking at these side by side, which one makes sense for family to have? But what if it don't make it to our community? You think this is a Tyrone thing. This stuff 300 years in the making. If people benefit from insurance every day and you sitting here worrying, I don't want to get that much on my baby. I don't want to get that much, and I love them. When they gone, you're going to find another love in about 10 years anyway. I'm not saying something that ain't real, but you won't say it, and I will. You'll fight people trying to get you to do something right because I look like you. You think I don't know anything, and I'm getting it from the people who teaching me that came up with this stuff. We don't have a black commissioner. Who y'all think sit in the boardrooms with me? I'm not a peon. I just want to help people give information to change our community. The reason why I'm here, because we're losing the battle to take care of these 20 and 40-year-olds that's out here killing themselves, leaving them babies that we know we need money to raise, but it's taking us backwards because now I got to go into my fund that I'm barely making it on. Now you wonder why we on services. How can we get ahead if we don't start planning? Everybody ain't in a famine. Y'all do that? Y'all say the gas high. Man, you like, oh my God, hey, listen. There's some folks that sitting around saying, it don't matter what they do. How can God bless them and won't bless you? If I don't have no respect, how can they apply God's principles that don't even go to church? Never call him Savior. Never accepted him. How can God bless you? Because he said, I will not go back on my word. So when I send it out, it don't come to me void. It won't come back to me void because that means everything I said is a lie. So he said, once I put it out, anybody decide to work my principle will prosper. But you guys get mad because you know everything. Because you talk about the people that stay in the big houses. Yeah, I know you do because I used to do it. Oh, them crooks staying in them big mansions. They done robbed somebody. And God changed that. How can you pray for something you want, but you talk against it? The energy you put out, the energy I'm going to send back to you. That's why you got to start cheering on people's success. Y'all do know that, right? This is more than finances to me. This is just information. Who going to teach our family and friends about income protection, knowing we passing away? I've been doing this 20-some years. I got clients down here. I'm getting calls all week, passing away, good people. I remember they gave me a shot almost 17, 18 years ago, young kid, excited about what I was doing. And I'm still on that same race, and they called me saying, if it wasn't for you, Mr. Bell, what would we be? We trusted you. You came in, you were laughing, you had great energy. Man, we just believed in you, and now I never thought I'd be having this conversation with you. That was yesterday. I get so many calls. I was a young 20-some-year-old kid just excited about helping people. And God allowed me to stay around long enough to see what the effect you had on the community. But it ain't going to happen for every family because people know too much. They don't ask God for things like this because you're thinking it's just something we do just to make money. If God allowed me to bless you, shouldn't I prosper? You can't give what you don't have. If I'm out here providing a service and I give it to the Lord and he said, I'm going to bless you for sharing, I should prosper to give somebody else hope that they can make it. That make sense? So here I'm going to end with this. I love showing this real life family, right? You got John and Mary, they look real. They look like you and I. You may have more than one child, but let's say we one of those families that make $2,000 a month. You can't stop God from being God. She get a call, John, go home. Her income get cut in half instantly, right? Income just, right? But that don't stop that mother that still got to take care of that child. That won't stop that. Life gonna still go on, right? Anybody know Michael Jackson and Prince, right? Is life stopped for them or is still going on? They're world renowned, known for everybody. But you're going to cross those sins, but you better make sure you do the right thing by your family. But thousands on top of thousands of people is faced with this as we speak because nobody talk about this stuff. But watch this. They sit down with a guy like me or somebody else that's doing it and had a love to help our people. They do something called the dime. Let me explain to you guys how this works. The D in dime is for depth and debt, okay? If you look at that, the average funeral is about $15,000. I understand in our community we do cut corners, can get it for 8 to 10. I do know that, right? But there's a lot more going to burying people. I found that out, right? About 15 grand. The average credit card and debt that most people leave, about $15,000. Do it make sense to have those items paid off if the loved one was to pass? Okay? Here it is. Then you got the I. The I in dime is for the income. This is the one we always miss. It's one of the most important letters in the whole dime. Okay, as I know it's probably, I'm going to talk to it. It's real green. They made it real green because I guess it represents money. Okay? $2,000 that who was making? John, right? You do his income times 12, that's $24,000 a year, times 10, meaning John left 10 years his annual salary, which came out to $240,000. Do it make sense to leave your income behind if this was to happen so the family can carry on? Because they're going to miss you, but they're going to also miss your money if you don't do this. And then you got the mortgage. The M is for mortgage. They had a payoff of $100,000. Do it make sense to have that mortgage paid off? And we've been enjoying this house all these years. Good Lord, call you home. I got to give it back to the bank. Do it make sense to do that? So you need to plan for that. Your children need this stuff, right? And then you got the E. It's for education. Let's say you have a child or you may have children. I want y'all to hear because college students already know and the parents who paying for the tuition know it. In order to go to a decent school, college or university, there's about $60,000 to do that. Okay? Just a decent one. I ain't say the high top notches. Yeah, you go to Alabama, 13-some thousand a semester, right? But just a decent one. That's $60,000. Do it make sense to leave your kid's future paid in full up front if the good Lord call you home too soon? Do it make sense? Is that the right thing to do, right? John planned for that, though. He left at least $430,000 of income protection behind. Why? Because everything I just went over took care of his family need. Can you stop God from being God? Do he take people out here at any given time? So why are we trying to beat him at his own game? Why we don't plan when he give us principles to plan? Stop playing the game of I'm not going yet. I'm not going to do that. And do right by your family because God honor principles. Y'all hear? Here the question you got to ask, and this is the last thing, okay? And then I'll say a little bit and then I'll sit down. It's about leaving an inheritance for the next generation. Who is the next generation? Who is the next generation after them? And after them? How many conversations you hear about this all the time? You hear these conversations all the time. But do people have the principle and the planning in place for that? You hoping. You think God is a genie. He just work off order. He'll give you whatever you want. We some great people, right? Are we not great people? We got the moral side of it right. We morally right. Y'all do that, but we mentally wrong. Because we look at money in a bad light. We all want to treat people nice. We go back to the back door, a lady come out, them guys, them big strong guys back there, old brother Bernard right there, and the big man right there. He going to open that door because that's morally what? Right. But time I start talking about money, they turn their back and they shut the door. God said, how can I bless you? You're doing everything right, so I'm going to bless you morally. But mentally, when it comes to money, I can't bless you because you don't talk right about it. Y'all do know that, right? So when you look at this about leaving an inheritance, ask yourself these questions. Is protecting your family income important to you? Second one, how are you protecting your family income right now? You got to ask yourself these questions. When would you like to know that your family income is fully protected? Would you like to know now or a year from now and you seeing people leave here? Most people say, I want to know when. I don't serve a God that say someday. I serve a now God. Y'all understand that? People say someday he going to what? Bless me. Is someday on the calendar? Do y'all got Monday on there? Tuesday? Wednesday? Thursday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It just keep repeating. What is someday? God gonna bless me when? Someday. But you need to say, God bless me when? That sounds a whole lot better. Stop saying someday and start asking the right question. God will answer if you just go to him for direction and guidance. Wisdom. Wisdom is allowing you the opportunity to learn something that you don't know. And when you ask God, show me, you ask him for it, so you confused. You say, I need clarity, and allow him to give it to you. Y'all got a great, great leader, a man of God in the church. And I'm not saying that because no, you just got to hear his heart. You hearing his words, you got to hear his heart. There's a difference. His words always going to inspire you, but what is his heart saying? When I saw him limping, he got to be up here. He could have said, man, my knee hurt. I'm going to sit down tonight, right? But his heart won't let him. You got to hear people's heart. And I'll leave with y'all with this is my information, right? Because I told you I came here as a message. I ain't come here. If you don't ask God for it, there's no need for me and you talking at all. Y'all understand that, right? Last thing I'll leave you guys with, man, I'm so thankful and grateful to be in an opportunity like this. I don't take it lightly. I said, God, everywhere I go, I'm going to give my best. Either they receive it or not. You told me just share it. I'll bless you as you go. You guys got to understand that when you get moments in somebody trying to pour into you, you got to move self out of the way. You got to stop letting people rent space in your head. You know you're not going in the right direction. You need to reevaluate your friends. You need to reevaluate your family direction. You got to. Because life moving too fast to be going in the wrong direction, you may not be able to make a U-turn. Because we're losing young people at an alarming rate. And it through violence. There's always been violence in our community. But I ain't never seen it like this, okay? I can't look at y'all young people and say, pull your pants. I'm not saying nothing to you. You understand? I'm not going to tell you to turn your music down. I'm not doing none of that. I want to go home to my family, okay? So I want to encourage all you guys, man. You got the God in you to go do whatever you want. Whatever you've been praying for, he will give you, but you got to have order. I don't care what you say. Blessing flows down. It do not flow up. If your pastor talking about prosperity and going at it the right way, the blessings are already flowing. You just got to get connected in order to receive. Blessings do not flow up. If they do, y'all need to tell me. I need to change my message. But when you got a head is right, the body will move. Y'all okay with that? Thank you, Pastor. I'll bring you back up.
Come on, let's put our hands together.